was over? The physics class was over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let us start the discussion. I'm sharing my PPT. Hope it is visible to all.
Yes.
Yeah. So today we will practice some simple programs. Okay, I think we have completed the dictionary methods. What is our last class? We have seen all the dictionary methods. However, dictionary, up to dictionary you will have in the third module. Of course, another element which is going to be the sets. Sets is another topic. So that we will discuss later. And then, so is it okay? In today's class, we will practice some simple programs. That includes the concepts from list as well as tuple, both. So most of the programs are going to discuss both the list and tuple. So this is the first program, not this one. Yes, this is the first program. So the program is like this. In general, you have created a tuple. Let us say you have created a tuple and you are asked to determine the size of the tuple. You are asked to create the size of the tuple. So generally, let us consider a tuple T. I am creating like this 1, 2, 3. What is the size of this tuple? Can anybody answer? What is the size of the tuple? Yes. You can answer instead of sending a message. No, 2 is not the correct one. Someone replied to 2. I'm sorry, this is not 2. How it is 2? Can anybody justify? I'm creating a tuple T1. I want to know the size of the tuple. So what we need size, not the length. Length is different, size is different in any programming language, especially if you are working with arrays, list, tuple, you will come across both the parameters, both quantities. So one is length and the other parameter is going to be size. Length is different from size. Both are not same. And here we are asking what is the size of T1. I want to know the size of the tuple T1. Any other answer? Any other answer? I hope you are viewing this screen, right? Here we are going to use a special keyword called get size. We are going to use something called get size of. Get size of and tuple that you want to know. This is the keyword or a reserved word which is used to determine the size, and we usually express the size in terms of bytes. So even the output of this get size of will output in terms of bytes. How many bytes? Size of any variable, a size of any data type is always mentioned in terms of bytes. Okay, it is not in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there is a measurement to quantify the size of a variable or any data type. So here using this, we are going to determine the size of a tuple. In order to use get size of, you need to import sys. You need to import sys to the program. So that may be your ideally, or it may be in the editor. You need to import sys. So only then you can use this function successfully. Get size of. Get size of is a function or a method used to quantify, used to determine the size of the tuple. So let us practice the same in ideally and see how and what we are going to get the output. So now let me share my ideally. Wait a second. I want to open ideally. So from today onwards, we are going to practice some miscellaneous concepts are nothing but the programs. Through the program, we are going to discuss few miscellaneous concepts. So this is, hope you are able to see the ideally, right? So what is our objective? I want to know the size of tuple. Of course, you can use this same for other list as arrays or dictionary also. What is the size of the data type in general, not only the tuple. So if you apply this procedure to any variable or any data type, you can determine the size of it, size of the variable. So what we need to first, let us define a tuple. So tuple 1 I want to create and create it like this. I'm creating like this, say 1 comma, say this is some string and then some float, and again I am using a string, right? So like this I have created a tuple. So if directly ask the get size of tup1, what is the output? Get size of I'm using, will it display the size of the tuple or not? Anybody? Will it display the size of the tuple? Say yes or no. I have defined the tuple. I'm asking, I want to know the size. So be clear, size is different, length is different. Both are not same. Always size is specified in terms of its bytes. Okay. Now tell. So what is the output of this get size of? Anybody? Yes, don't sit idle. I hope you are listening and you are seeing the screen without any problem. Anybody? What is the output? Throw some answer. Yes, this is a programming concept. You should be interactive. It's not like any pure theory subject or something. What is the output? Will it output the result or not? Anybody? Okay, don't sit like this. This will give us really a bad experience. So if I hit enter, see that get size of is not defined. At least are you able to see this get size of is not defined? There will be an error. What is this error and why we are getting this error? Because we have not import sys. First you need to import sys into the ideally, and then if you try this, and then if you try to get the size of it, Okay, again there is an error, because the way we are calling this is not in a proper manner. So what we need to do, get size of a tuple. So let us move accordingly, and then we will create this as a program. I'm sharing this a new screen. I will create everything in a since all these are simple or small programs, we can practice everything here itself. Size of tuple. Hope you are able to see the screen. So first we need to import the tuple, sorry, sys. So that will be the first line of your code. Import sys. Now you define tuples. First tuple. So what do you want to define first tuple? Can anybody give me the elements in the tuple? Yes. It will be like this. We'll have a string, an integer, and again another string, and again some decimal. This is one tuple. So I'm creating another tuple. I hope it is visible to all. Any doubt? Okay, let us create another tuple with some names. Okay, Greek, and then say Latin, then say English, then it will be some other language, Hindi. This is another tuple, right? We have created two tuples. We want to get the size of these tuples. So I want to print the size. That will be the objective, print. So what do you want to print? Print I want to print the size of tuple 1. So plus that is the size of a tuple 1 plus string sys dot. The way we are calling is the wrong. You are not supposed to call directly as get size of. Instead, if you call sys dot, right? So if you call like sys dot, so if you say like this, get size of tuple 1, you may get the result you are looking for, right? So this is what, how to get the size of a tuple. You should call like this, is sys dot get size of tuple 1. And how you want to express? You want to express it in terms of bytes, right? So this is for the first tuple. So what is your first tuple? TUP1. And similarly, you want to know the size of the second tuple. So how to get the size of the second one? Same thing, just replace this as TUP2, tuple 2, right? Let me save this. Let me save this. And then if I run, I'm getting the bytes which I'm looking for. See here. So the size of first tuple 1 is going to be 72 bytes. Of course, the second one is also, of course, the second one is also 72 bytes, right? Now, so if we change the values in the tuple, no, we are using just a function called get size of. We are using get size of is the method used to measure the size, used to measure the size of a tuple. Hope you are you able to see the screen first of all?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see here. So that's it's a very simple program. So let us verify the same in IDLE itself. I'm creating a tuple with some values inside the tuple. The objective is I want to know the size. It's not the length, it's the size. So what is the size of this tuple? So length is different, size is different. So what is the length? 4 it is saying. So that means,
sir.
Come again. Hello. Any problem? Okay, length is different and size is different. So if you are trying to get the length, use the method called LEN. That will tell the number of elements present in the tuple. And here I am answering, I am getting 4, which means there are 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this time, what do you want to know? Size. So you cannot use the size as a function directly because it is not existing at all. You see the color change. If I call len, there is a color change, which means it is an inbuilt function. Length is an inbuilt function that will give the length of the tuple. Size is not an inbuilt function. Okay, then what we need to use? Get size. Get size of, right? You cannot call this directly. So how to call this? Sys dot get size of tuple1. So you see this answer 72 you are getting. This is how you need to measure the size. Important, if you define any data type, whether to know the size of the data type. Since I am defining this tuple purely with this 4 elements. So what happen if I vary this? If I vary or if I remove, right? So now let us get the size. Let us get the size 64. 64 is the size of the new tuple. The tuple consists of only 3 elements, 10 to 3. Right? Like this, you can practice your measuring the size, right? So if you want to, you can note down this simple program, or otherwise we will move to the next one. So this is a simple one where you can print, you can get the size of your tuple. Okay. So better note down this few lines. So you need to import sys. You need to import sys before measuring or using your the function sys. So without importing sys, if you try to execute get size of, will not work. So note down these few lines. Note down these few lines. Import, you have to import sys. That is must in the practice. Okay. Note down these 4 lines. If done, inform me. I will move to the next sample program. Yes, is it done?
Yes, sir.
ట్యూబుల్ ఎంటీ తీసుకుంటే ఏమవుతుంది సార్?
ఎంటీ తీసుకుంటే ఏమవుతుంది? ఏం లేదు, సైజ్ ఏం లేదు దాంట్లో. You define this.
ట్రై చేద్దాం.
Yeah, we can try now. T equals to, I will define this as a tuple. Right. Now, if you try this, 0 bytes and ravala. Answer will be 0. $40. So that will be the default size of your tuple by default. If I ask the length of T is 0. Length will be 0. So the default value of this tuple is going to be 40 bytes. The units are going to be bytes. Okay. This will be bytes somewhere. Okay. So this is what I have done. See here. I have created an empty tuple. Are you able to see? T equals to tuple. Now, if I check the status of the tuple, status of T is it is a tuple. It is a tuple of size. I want to know the size. Sys dot get size of. It will be 40 bytes. Good question, right? If you create with some values, so T equals to tuple of 1, 4, AB. Okay. Then no, you can create it directly. So T like this. If I say like this, then what is T now? What is T? Yes, it is a tuple now. Now you can get the result. Yes, by default it is 40 bytes. Here I am creating an empty tuple. See here. T is just an empty tuple, empty parenthesis. If you are looking for the size of it, it will be 40. Good question. And do remember always. Okay. So now let us move to the next one, next sample program. The second one is going to be the, I want to know the maximum and minimum 2 elements, maximum 2 elements or minimum 2 elements from the given tuple. So very specific. So here you define the tuple like this. We define the tuple as 523,768, out of which you want to know only 2. Two maximum or 2 minimum, either way.
Sir, we have to write this, sir.
If you write, it is useful. We have to means no option. If you write, it is useful for you. Okay.
Sir, voice is not visible, sir.
Voice is not visible. Screen is
Yes,
not
sir.
visible. Screen is not visible. Hello. Is it audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about the screen? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then somebody have voice is not audible. The candidate called Balakrishna, P. Balakrishna. Maybe there is a problem with your side. It's not
My
from
side.
my side. Hello. From my side, it is very clear. I'm able to present the screen and also I'm able to talk clearly. Okay. So if you write, these things are useful for you. You want to know the few maximum k elements or minimum k elements. You want to access those values, very specific. So this is the scenario we use when we define a tuple, and we are not interested to access all the elements. Suppose you have defined a tuple with some 100 elements. Some 100 elements you define the tuple. Out of 100, you want to access only few elements. Something like 10 elements or 5 elements or 30 elements. So in that case, this logic is very useful for you. Now let us see how we are going to define the approach. This is a test tuple. This is a test tuple which we have created here. This is a test tuple. So what is a test tuple with 6 elements? This is a test tuple or sample tuple. And initially you want to print the original test tuple. This is the practice. The original elements in the tuple, or the original tuple is. Try to understand this new way of using the print function. I'm not simply calling print.
Sir, one skip previous slide, sir.
Why previous slide? Why
I
previous
was
slide?
writing, sir.
You write, then you should write in the line. No, I am targeting 6 programs at least here. Then write.
Thank you, sir.
Then what about others, Balakrishna? They have to wait for
Don't know,
your
sir.
completion. Huh?
I don't know, sir.
The class was started at 3:10. Still you haven't noted down this 4 lines. Whereas others are noting down. They have to wait for you.
Sir, okay, we'll take screenshots, sir.
Do whatever it is.
Okay, sir.
At least
Move it.
from the second program you can note down.
Okay, sir.
Now you note down. See here, this is a new way of using the print function. It is not a new. So previously we used simply like this, right? And here I want to use the print function very clearly. The output should be readable and understandable. So once you print some information, so this is what we are getting. The original tuple is, I'm using an operator called plus. So what is the use of it? So again, I'm using string of test tuple. So in the output will be the combination of this one and this one by using an operator called plus. Right. So the original tuple is, so this is what you are going to get. So like this, you can add one more plus also. So if you are trying to concatenate 2 or more sentences while printing some information, you can use an operator called plus string. And also if you want to add one more information in the plus, something you want to say, and again if you want to print something plus. So like that, the final printable data or information will be the concatenation of all these objects. So by using plus, you want to print multiple things, so which are initially in the pieces. So this is one piece. So this is another piece, right? So this is again a nice practice. So which will give us a clear and more clarity if you print the output, right? Okay, so what is our objective? I want to get the maximum or minimum elements present in the tuple. So let us initialize this by some value that is called 2. Later, if you want, you can change it. You can make it to 3 or 4 or 5, whatever you want, right? And this is the resultant tuple. This is the resultant tuple with 2 elements. With the 2 elements which are from the original tuple. Whereas the original tuple consists of 6 and the resultant tuple consists of only 2. And here, this I am going to initialize as an empty list. I am initializing this as Balakrishna, only you are raising the complaints. Nobody else is complaining. I will ask before you, maybe internet at your end is not clear. I'm not sure about it, whether you are using a mobile phone or not, I don't know. Balakrishna, from your side is the problem. And no other student raising the issue. You check from your side. Right? So I'm creating an empty list to get the maximum and minimum k elements from the present in the tuple. Now, so this is my test tuple. I am making this as a list once again, right? So this is nothing but a typecast list of sorted test tube. So what is meant by sorting? When we use sorting, then if you are using a mobile phone, what is the nonsense it is, Balakrishna? I may ask you to quit the class. So what is the question you are raising right now? Exams are online or offline from Feb 3. So do you have any update in the Telegram? So Telegram is the mode. You strictly follow the Telegram. So Feb 3rd is still 1 more week. You prepare now itself. Feeling that tomorrow you have an exam. Like that you prepare. And tomorrow you have offline exam. But do some night outs and prepare hard. Why these queries are coming online or offline? If you are using mobile phone, my voice will not be audible. My screen is also not visible to you. So totally the problem from your side. You be patient and listen. So later in the evening, you may get the recorded class.
Okay, sir.
You may get the recorded class. You download it from the YouTube and then watch it once again. Be patient.
Sir, YouTube link, sir.
Again, will be updated in the Telegram. Telegram is the medium or mode for IRE. Okay, no need to ask anyone. You
Sir, this PPT will keep in CMS login, sir.
yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You be patient and listen. If you are getting the signal good, you can get the clarity, or otherwise not. Since you are using a mobile phone, it is not a LAN connection. LAN connection
Sir,
is more
Airtel, sir,
stable.
4G. Good line, sir.
Though you use 10G, you are in India. You are not in US. Guaranteeing that I am getting 100%. So this is just out of our discussion. Be patient. So I'm performing some typecast, making this tuple as a list. Right now here I'm using a for loop. So what I'm doing, I'm using a variable called idx, right, comma values in. So this is what in very important. You are going to perform enumeration. Okay, after this I will speak something about the enumeration. Is again important concept in programming language. So value in test tube, which is of enumerate, happens if idx is less than k, or idx is greater than or equal to length of test tube minus k. Okay. that value will be appended into the resultant list. Now, what is RES? The status of RES, the appended RES is it is a list. So finally, what we want a tuple. Again, you are going to perform typecast. So this is a typecast. This is a typecast. That means you are converting that list into the tuple, performing data conversion from list to the tuple. So now this is a RES, which is a tuple. The output which we are looking is strictly a tuple. Okay, these are some variables, intermediate variables. So if you follow the programming lab, then you should understand while using your for loop or if loop, if condition, we do introduce some intermediate variables. Similarly, IDX is a variable, some intermediate variable. K is also a variable. Test tube is also a variable. Okay. So to run this for loop or if condition, we use some intermediate variables, right? So here that will result in the new tuple. So where the list, where the numbers, where the elements present in the tuple are controlled by K. That is K number of elements you are going to get in the resultant tuple. So let us practice this in IDLE. I open this IDLE. Let us open the new program, new file. Okay. New file. Why new file? Let us work on the old one itself. Since all these are simple programs, you can practice on a single file. I hope it is visible to all. This I want to comment. I will comment the entire thing so that I can run the second program. If you want to open a new file also, you can open. So what is this? What is the name of this second sample one? Maximum and minimum. Maximum and minimum elements. Maximum, minimum, how many number of elements? K. K elements in tuple. Okay. So again a doubt from Balakrishna. Sir, I am 3 classes. Can I get PPT? What is this? You postpone your doubts, Balakrishna. Let me complete the class and then you send all your messages at a time and verify your CMS login for today's PPT and previous class PPT also are all there. So what is our first thing? So hope you are able to see the screen. Right. So let us create a tuple. Right. And the elements are like this. 5, 20, 25, 8, 10, 90. Okay, that's enough. Right now you can define how many elements you want. So by initializing K, let us initialize K by 2 once again. Then what you need to define a variable for an empty list. So initially this is a list. Later at the end of the program, we are going to typecast this to a tuple, right? Also, we are going to typecast the tuple as a list. We are going to typecast this as a list. It is a list of, so what is it? Sorted. So let it be in an order. It may be either in the ascending order or descending order. That's what the function sorted will do. Sorted. Sort this tuple in the ascending order. So this is what tup1 consists of. Sort the list and update it with the same name. I'm not going to use multiple variables to avoid confusion. Now you can create the for loop. So what is it? For a variable called idx, comma, and values in what is it? Enumerate of what? The tuple tup1. This is a for loop. So give colon. Indentation begins. Now you are going to impose the condition. So this is a logical condition. I'm going to use a logical condition, that to logical OR. So what is the condition? If idx, so that is the variable. So what we are going to say, if idx is less than k, or, so we are not asking both maximum or minimum. Okay, idx is less than k, or, so what is another condition? If idx greater than or equals to, so what? Length of the tuple. Length of the tuple. So is it up to the length of the tuple? No. Length of tuple minus k we want. So this is an if condition, right? If happens, then we are asked to append this in the resultant list. Append. So what you want to append? That value you want to append. Take that value and append it in the new, in the existing list named as RES. And finally, you can convert this. You can perform typecast. So make it as a tuple. RES equals to. So what do you want to print? A tuple actually. Tuple of RES. Initially, over this process, it is treated as a list. Now you want to make it as a tuple finally. Okay, so let us check this one. If I ask RES, four messages. Who is this? All are from Balakrishna only. Okay, see here. So we want to print, right? Print. The tuple is. So let us use that new method called plus. Plus. So what do you want to write? So you can write string. It is str of RES. Okay. So let me run this. Okay. So this is what I'm getting, students. See this in the IDLE. The tuple is 5A 25 95. So first you are going to sort. You are going to sort the tuple, and then you want 2 maximum and 2 minimum. 2 maximum as well as the 2 minimum. Since you are using an OR function. If you are using an OR function, so you can get both 2 maximum and 2 minimum. If I change the values in the tuple, let us see what will happen. So 5 and 8 are the minimum. Okay. 90 and 25 are the maximum. So we are getting the output like this. So I want to change the complete list. Let us say 10, 1, 20, 2, 30, 3, 45, 5, 100, 11. This is the new tuple which we are creating. Okay. So tell me what is the output? What is the output? Anybody? This is the new list. What is the output? Can anybody answer? Before I run this, if you answer, it will be very nice. This is a new list. We want 2 maximum and 2 minimum in the output. What is the output? Can anybody reply? Yes.
1,
1, 2 max and 2 min. That's what the output. 130, 1, 2. 131 to 145. So what are the 2 maximum? So you first sort it out. Make it arrange it in a ascending order. So once you arrange it, pick the first 2 elements and last 2 elements. That's all, your job is done. So the answer is 145 to 1. So that means 1, 2, I'm sharing my output. Are you able to see the output? 1, 2 are the 2 minimum values, and maximum values are going to be 45 and 100. So
Sir, I check correct, sir.
if you arrange them in an ascending order, pick the first 2 and last 2. So let us change the number. Why we need so J6 replied correct, that's fine. So if we say, so let us change the number. Why we need only 2? If we want 3, can anybody give me the answer? If I look for 3 max and 3 minimum, what is the output? What is the output? This time I am looking for 3. Can anybody reply? Note down this program.
130, 45, sir.
Okay, that's
1,
all.
2, 3, sir.
1, 2, 3, 30,
100,
45,
45, 30.
Okay, let us run. Yes, it is correct. 1, 2. So that means you understand the program. That is very, very important. 1, 2,
Sir,
3.
run, sir. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 30, 45, and 100. So this is all happening because of that if condition. So what is that if condition you are using? So whether it is less than 3 or length of the tuple minus 1. Okay. So I hope everyone has noted down this program. Okay. Actually, I'm targeting 6, but I ended up with only 2. Okay, if you allow me, I can discuss another small program.
Can you tell in class, sir?
So note down this third one. Actually, I'm targeting 6. See this one. See this third one. So here,
Sir,
yes. See here, you are asked to create list of tuples from given list having number and its cube. Number and its cube. Suppose if you have given the value 2, the tuple will be formed with 2, 8. 2,
Sir, why
8.
IDX, sir?
Yes.
Why only we have to take IDX?
It's no need to buy IDX. You create I, some variable. That is the variable which is passed into the if condition, and through that you are going to verify. You are going to verify that with respect to k. Okay, that is an intermediate variable for I, for j. No need to buy IDX. So with that variable, you are verifying and are checking the if condition. So now see this, focus on this new program. I'm asking you to create a tuple with its value, comma, cube, power of cube, not power. So it is of cube, it's cube. The cube of the value should come. Value, comma, cube. So if I say 2, the tuple will be 2, 8. If I say 3, 3, 27. 4, so then it will be 4, 64. Like that, I want to create a list of tuples. So altogether, this is going to form a big list, comma will appear. So this is my list 1, 2, 5, 6. So my new list is going to be like this. So 1, 1 cube, and then 2, 2 cube, 5, 5 cube. Similarly, 6, 6 cube. So this is what we are expecting in the output. So this is done with a simple logic in a single line. So this is the resultant. It is a list of tuple. The resultant is a list of tuples where the size, where the tuple elements are nothing but its value, comma, power of value, comma, 3. So power is a function, so which will take the value, power, value, comma, 3. So what is the output here? If you say power of, 2, 3, it is going to be 8. That is 2 cube. This is how you can understand this function, power of 2, 3. So how long you want to run this? How long you want to run this? For values in the list 1, for values in the list. Okay, so let us check this simple single line comment, and then we will move to the we will end up this session. Okay.
Sir. Sir.
Tell.
Sir.
I'm listening.
Sir, can you give some materials, sir, in college? They will give some materials, sir.
no materials will be given. It is not an intermediate. You need to take the running notes or you need to get the textbooks from library.
Sir, then give some important questions, sir.
There is everything is important. According to me, everything is important. Everything is important.
అయితే వద్దు సార్.
Then fine. You listen, you study. Without your hard work and efforts, you cannot come out of it. So now let us check this one. I'm creating a list. So I cannot use directly. So list one. So you want to find the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the list we have created. I hope you are able to see this screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Now what we want to find? We want to find a list of tuples with value and its cube specified in the list, right? So what is that? In a single line you can do this. So let us call it as a resultant. So what is this resultant list? Also a list. And so what is it? List of tuples. You are interested in a list of tuples. So what that tuple consists of? A value and power of. So use the function power of value. So we are interested in cube, right? So power of value comma cube. So how long you want to run this? As long as the elements present in the list. So for values in, so what we want for values in the created list, that is list 1. That's all. Now if you check this, so this is a new list. So this is the original list. List 1 is the original one. And from this we have created value associated with its power 2, 8, 3, 27, 4, 64, 5, 125, 6, 216, right? So try to see this, how we can arrange, how we can create list of tuples in different ways, right? So if you have any doubts, you can discuss, or otherwise I will end this. And in tomorrow's class, we will continue these sample programs. So meanwhile, go through the question bank and see if you have Python with you. So this subject is very easy. Okay, don't practice in your mobile phones.
But I didn't have PC or laptop, sir.
Come and get from my home. Come and get from my home today evening. So I am telling you the simple ways how to understand the subject in much better way. That is the focus. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can discuss, or otherwise I will end this.
Sir, address, sir.
Yes. You call me. Call me. I will tell you. See you then. Bye.